So I also see you're the maker of a movie called Tago. What-
Yes, Pago.
Yeah, Tago, and you're also the maker of you already made it.
Yes.
Yeah. The most common thing in these two movies are that um, there are very less characters in these movies, and they are 1 minute movies. What? Why do you make such a small movie? What is the secret?
Oh,
What is the secret between that? Timelines, very small, tight timelines. Why?
for me, it's I also tried to ask myself, how did I come up with such 1 minute movie? Because at first, when I was filming, when I was editing, I really asked myself, oh my gosh, is this story gonna make it within just 1 minute? Because I was thinking of stretching it out. So it's really a big challenge. It's a big dilemma for me to think of how can the audience understand the concept of my movie within just 1 minute. So my technique in making the 1 minute movie is that I thought of the important elements only that the characters will undergo in such a movies, like no dialogues, because the dialogue make the whole movie stretched. It makes the movie long. So for me, let me just use the gestures or the emotions of the characters to tell the story, and that will make the story short. And also, I just thought of like a single a single situation in a day. So for that one, I that made me inspired to create a 1 minute movie, because there are few instances in our lives where we can think like, oh, okay, so this is what I feel now. So this few instances of our life, I tried to account it, I tried to dissect it, and from there, let's try to make one situation of our life into a movie. So, like for example, the Tago, like a teenager is so like doing procrastination to the point that she teenagers right now dream big, but they are really not doing anything to make those dreams come true. So what do usually teenagers do when procrastinating? They usually, yeah, just go ahead, use digital phones in in the comforts of their home. They're not doing anything. They're not studying. So I use those those single situation to make it a movie. And also in in the film, you already made it. It was like a student who has just failed in his or her exam. And from there, I also tried to concretize the idea about, okay, meeting the future with the past. So in the movie, the character has met her future, and her future character has handed her a paper, and that says you already made it. So from there, when a student watches the test paper and she failed, then the idea of reaching your dream was just there. So I tried to connect both dimensions, the past and the future, in just 1 minute. So for me, it's really a big challenge. So I hope that those techniques of mine, like for example, again, using a single situation, no dialogues in the film, can help our young filmmakers to be inspired also in making a 1 minute film.
Ever backfired? I mean, you wanted to make something, and your audience completely understood something different, and they started calling you and asking you like, "Why did you make this? This is not making any sense." Did you ever get any such experiences?
So far, I have never received yet a negative feedback about the film. Rather, everyone has been inspired about it. When I shared it on the social media, like everyone has been sharing the video and like, yes, guys, we can make it. So the my target audience for that film were students, and students who were able to watch my film has been sharing it. And so far, as I read all the shares, all the engagements that I had on the social media, I have not received yet any negative criticism or negative comments. So I can say that my film has not backfired yet for now.
First thing is that I really wanted to give and congratulations to you, because it's really difficult, to
Thank you so
make
much.
one minute movie and making that especially to engage that audience. So thank you so much for those bringing it out. And uh, what was I was wondering, did you character sketch that particular character in Erika? Like how did you how what was the thought process behind it for that particular characterization? Whether it was inspired by some, where did you get those references, or how did it happen?
Okay, let me share to you. Before actually filming, I and my team, together with my actresses, had a meeting. And from the meeting, I was teaching them the idea of characterization. So how to put a character on something that you are really not usually doing. So for that one, we did a lot of research. We researched in the film, Erica. We researched about dissociative identity disorder. It's like having a multiple personality disorder, and we also tried to watch a lot of videos on YouTube. At the same time, professional assistance from my friend who is a psychologist. I asked him, what do usually people with dissociative identity disorder do? So for that one, I recorded all our conversation. And he told me that, okay, they are doing like, for example, getting away with the reality. They thought that they are a totally different person, that they had to act, and also they had to forget all the memories that that they have with their recent character. So from there, I oriented all my actresses that you have to do this. So there is also a sort of practice before getting to the film. I really made sure that the character must be delivered appropriately. It should be appropriate, and I never forget also the single behavior from from speaking a language to acting to different body gestures. How would a person with a DID act? So from there, I really paid attention to the details for me to bring out that best character from an actress.
That's really great. So much of groundworks to be done on that. So did you do any storyboarding before going to the pre-production, or?
Yes, we did a storyboarding. At first, I was the one who made the short story. There is a short story about Erica, who is actually depressed at the same time, experiencing a bad feeling in school to the point that she switched her personality and thought of her friend as the other personality of her. So from there, from the short story that I made, I also made like different frames of how these characters will act on a screen. And also, I communicated to to my actors and actresses what to do during this. We also developed scripts. At the same time, we paid attention to again the context of the story. So from there, that's how we did our storyboarding.
So coming to actors, I see you usually cast this one girl. I think she's your relative, uh, and you make sure that looks a little bit like yourself. I mean, younger yourself. Is that deliberately what you try to do, or it just happened like that?
For me, actually, it just happened like that. Actually, my friend, I yes. As for you, you mean Erica? Erica on the
Yeah.
film? Okay, it actually just happened like that one. By the time that we're doing a characterization, it's her natural knack of acting that makes the film work. So for me, I am not trying to envision about making this character my younger self, but I'm trying to make a whole new character out of her. So that's how I did it on the film.
Okay, to the more serious question, from 1 minute movies to a very large movie like Erika, why did you take that leap? I mean, what was so different from making a 1 minute movie and Erika that is so long, a longer short film?
Okay. In making a long film, for example, Erica and my 1 minute film, I really took that. It's actually a risk because people are not used to watch any 1 minute short film here in our country, and what I did first was make a 27-minute movie, and that was Erica. So for me, the big difference of the two is that Erica discusses about the different plots, okay, that happened to her in a day. So it talks about the plot, the sequence of events that the character is facing in the story, and it gives them a depth about the character that makes that long movies unique to 1 minute short film, because in 1 minute short film we only give significance to the whole theme, to the whole idea of your movie. So not so much for characterization. It's just about the message you wanted to deliver to people in just a single minute. So yes, again, the difference between the two is for me the development of the plot, because again the long movies are plot driven. We are trying to get to know more the characters further by looking into the different situations she is in during the whole duration of the film. Well, on the 1 minute, it just talks about a single life lesson that we need to learn. So that's how I see the different films, the 1 minute one and the long duration films.
Coming to Dej, I really appreciate your technique of making these films. The biggest technique I really love about your movies is that you do not use any CG. You always try to, transform your scenes into a more unbelievable kind by using your camera movement. Suddenly, your camera moves, and there is this other person standing out there, and these two are same. I mean, this is a very old technique, but yet it takes a lot of skill to master it. Why don't you use After Effects? You have a lot of effects going on, digital effects. You never use them. You always, try to engineer your shot in such a way that only camera moves and something happens down there. Why are you not using more technical advanced digital effects or something like that? Why do you always go with the old camera movement techniques?
Yes. Right now, my friend, I'm actually a beginner. I can still consider myself a beginner in filming. And for me, I am really not familiar with the advanced technologies like using software during the film. I only use like an editing software, but After Effects and for different CGIs, I really don't have that one. Especially these softwares are not available in my region. And also, this one will really cost me a lot. And also, as a beginner filmmaker, I thought of making something that is like, um, less cost in production. At the same time, like every people can enjoy. So right now, I am resorting to the old methods or techniques of filming. And so far, for me, it really worked. I haven't received a backfire yet about it, and hopefully not.
Like when it came to shots in school, because you had limited number of space and you had to keep the camera in. So what kind of camera did you use in that, and how effective it was to control those crowd? Because when camera is out, every people from behind, since it's a school, you cannot control it. So how did you control those kind of things?